Welcome to the Go Flush Yourself podcast with Jared Kirk and Matt Milbauer. All right, welcome to another episode of Go Flush Yourself. As usual, it's Matt here with Jared. Jared's been a little bit. We've both been pretty busy, but I'm glad to get back on the podcast here with you. How have you been?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, just been busy and currently on night shift, which is destroying my days off for going hunting and stuff like that. So
yeah. That ruins everything.
It does.
You sleep in the morning, huh?
Yeah, I sleep. So my days off for part of the day is sleeping, and then also my son decided it'd be a good idea to wreck his car, so we're down a vehicle, so that's making things a lot harder too. So
man,
yeah,
hunting season woes, man. Yeah, that sucks. It's been crazy. I haven't had the unfortunateness of being down a car and being on night shift, but just been so busy lately.
Holidays.
Luckily, my wife's been amazing and encouraging me to go hunting on the weekends, and I've had an opportunity to go. But just during the week, kids and family and work and holidays and all this stuff, just it's like no extra time. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's been a little rough.
Better than the alternative, I guess.
That's
maybe,
true.
If not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess kind of to add to the not so fun stuff, my shotgun of choice, my CZ Woodcock 20 gauge over under, catch everyone up.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know I bought a Turkish made shotgun to start this off. I know what to put myself into. There is a 5-year warranty, so I knew that going into it.
Right.
So essentially, it kind of started at the beginning. I was out hunting, and I was out with my nephew, my brother-in-law, on their first pheasant hunt. Maybe first hunt, right? Period. I guess not. The first pheasant hunt, and we're out. We got my dogs. My nephew, Pass Hunter Zed, he's licensed up with a shotgun, and my brother-in-law is following along out there with us. And that hunt was great. I'll talk about that in a second. But after they left, I saw my brother's truck in the parking lot, and I'm like, oh, my brother's here. And he gave me a call, and he's like, hey, kind of told me where he's at. It's like, he knew I was out there with my nephew and brother-in-law. He's like, bring him out here. I ran to some roosters. I'm like, oh, they just left. It's like, well, you get out here. So I found him. He was out there with my dad, and they were chasing down some roosters. Both already had one, and they knew there was some more. And I'm like, all right, they're about a mile away from me, so I'm just going to start going in with, I brought Bridget. Sophie she was done. She was tired from the initial hunt. And so I put her in the truck in the crate, and I grabbed Bridget. We go out, and 20 yards from my truck, not from the truck, from the parking lot into the field, Bridget gets up, this rooster, easy shot, and I pull up the 20 gauge, and it goes click. And I knew I just turned the safety off. In my head at that moment, I was like, something's wrong, because I know the safety's off. I know I just put shells in it under a minute ago. It felt like.
I know.
I knew. I'm like, sometimes it happens. You're like, I didn't put shells in the gun, or the safety, and you just know, that's what you did. But this, I'm like, something's wrong, and I didn't even try firing a second shot. Rooster flew away. That was one thing.
Right.
But I opened the gun up, and both shells, I pulled the trigger once, and both shells primers were struck, but neither shell fired. And the bottom barrel, the one that was selected to shoot first, it was struck a little harder.
Okay.
So I know there's issues with CZs and potential double fires where both shells fire at once.
Yeah.
It looks like that's what happened, but the hammers didn't hit hard enough to trigger, lack of a better term, the primers.
Yeah. So you had light strikes.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I'm like, well, crap. And I took those shells out. Actually, I kept them in, and I went over and I showed my dad and brother, and they're like, yeah, it's crazy. And I didn't flush anything else. I did pop 2 new shells in, and I got home and I was digging through all the shells to my. So like sometimes, you know, when you're hunting at the end of the hunt, you'll have 2 shells. If you think of an over under, 2 shells in your gun, and then you'll have at the end of your hunt, you'll pull both out and throw them back in your vest, right?
Yeah.
Well, often you'll shoot, like mine's bottom barrel first out of the set, and the bottom barrel goes off, and you never shoot the top barrel. You just reload the bottom barrel, right?
Right.
Well, I look going through the shells, and sometimes when you pull the shells out, that top one will then come out and go back in your vest. Well, I'm going through the shells in my vest, and some of them have the light strike on them, which makes me think they were that top barrel shell that got lightly struck once. The bottom barrel went off, and the top barrel didn't. I never noticed. There's like at least 3 I could find that had that.
But it's fired. But when you fired it, it's done. Like if you had to fire 2 shots, it's fired both shots before. I know it has. Right?
Yeah, it has done that before. Yeah.
Yeah, like
so
you like
every time.
Like pull the trigger once, fire 1 barrel, pull the trigger again, follow it, fires top barrel, right?
Yeah, it did that. Did it do it that day? I think it did it. Yeah, I shot twice to that day. Earlier that day.
Huh.
Yeah. Really weird. So I got on CZ's website, CZ USA, and just kind of explained what I just explained just now, and I got an email back. I sent that off Sunday. Sunday night, I emailed that out, and then this morning, today is Tuesday as we speak, I got an email back, and it said, yeah, here's the FedEx form. Ship it back in the original box, which I always keep, and I had it, and it came with a plastic case, you know.
Yeah.
I had it in a cardboard box, so I packaged it back up. So just send the gun. I didn't send the choke tube or anything. Just sent the gun. So I mean, the choke tubes are in. I left in, but I didn't add the extra ones or anything else that came with it. I just shipped back the gun. Dropped it up by FedEx today, and the lady at FedEx was like, she's like, "Whoa, they must want this pretty quick." I'm like, "Oh, why?" And she's like, "They have a 2-day delivery, and like they paid extra to guarantee it on that time." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's nice."
I think guns are typically shipped 2 days anyways, like regardless.
Oh, is that how it is? I mean, I don't think she knew it was a gun. So,
sorry. Background. Stop.
Yeah, so that's my adventure in that. So I went out. I'm kind of going a roundabout way to explain this. That was on Friday. That was on Black Friday when that happened.
Okay.
I went out on Sunday, and I was down to one of my 12 gauges. So I have 3 12 gauges to pick from. Right. I got my new CZ Woodcock 12 gauge, which I've had bad luck with, but I've only shot boss through.
But you've had bad luck with it, but it's like not like bad luck is not working, just like you just haven't shot. But you also like this season too.
Yeah, and it's kind of heavy. I have my 12 gauge Merauke over under that I've had since I was 14.
That doesn't fit.
Yeah, I've shot a lot with it, but it has other issues. I don't know. It's pretty worn out. And then I have the semi-auto, which I hate carrying. That was already out. So I brought my old 12 gauge, and I went out with just Bridget to a spot, and we worked a lot of land. We walked a lot on Sunday, and we got to the kind of pretty far into the property. And she flushed up a rooster, and I missed twice with that 12 gauge with Kent Faststeel. So now I'm in a little
shooting slump.
It feels like a shooting slump, but it's really not, because that Friday I hit a quail. Like when I was with my nephew and brother-in-law, like we flushed. Bridget and Sophie put 2 roosters, but they were like behind trees, like the trees were just in the way.
Yeah.
And then, but they got to see the flush, so that was cool, and hear it and stuff. And then we flushed a ton of quail, and I had a shot at a couple, and I hit one of them. But he got to shoot at some quail too, so that was cool. So they had a really good time, I think. But so I did shoot a quail on Friday. So that's a whole weekend. That's what I got with all my adventures through guns.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well, it's better than my stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, I really can't complain. I mean, I'm down a gun, but I have other guns to pick from. Like people have been
yeah,
way worse by me. I really can't complain about that. So
yeah. I think I've been on two, two hunts. I think. Again, night shift and down a
mhm.
car like that.
Yep.
I had went to a one spot that had pretty good luck in the past. Really kind of crappy weather when I went though. Kind of that rainy, kind of overcasty, kind of soaking wet kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I got Bones was able to well, a rooster flushed. It had nothing to do with Bones. The rooster flushed like probably about 80, 100 yards. But so I was like, all right, at least seeing stuff. Ended up where we were at was kind of a lot of people hunt ducks around that area, and we ended up finding a recently deceased duck. It was still kind of warm, but the guys probably hunting were probably a good, I don't know, 400 or 500 yards away. So I think it's one of those ducks that just ended up sailing for a while. But Bones got to pick that up and retrieve it. And that was kind of cool because that was his first duck that he's picked up. But the cool part is we were hunting a little like hedgerow type thing, and I was watching Bones, and he did kind of like that, that running and then just that abrupt like 90-degree turn. Like he smelled like he hit scent, and just it was kind of cool watching him just like hit the scent cone and then just do like this really cool kind of like 90-degree turn. In my head, I was like, oh, that was really cool. And then I was like, I wonder what he's doing. And then because he flushed birds, a whole covey of quail, and I was just not prepared for that, and ended up whiffing on a quail. In my defense, I was shooting number twos because I was looking for ducks at the same time. So missed the quail with number twos. But, watching him kind of start working some stuff was pretty cool. But yeah, and then the second hunt I went on, nothing. Didn't even get a flush out of it. So, but it was nice to get out, get out in the weather and just, get out, and Bones is having a lot of fun and stuff like that. So
Nice.
not too bad time.
Yeah, I had this. I know that 90-degree turn because Bridget does it too. I guess they're related, so maybe that makes sense. But I feel like they work so hard and they're running so fast that all of a sudden they get a whiff and they stops them in their tracks and they turn around.
Yeah.
Like I was out the weekend before and was walking around a crop circle, a big giant crop circle of corn that was harvested, but the stalks were still up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of corn on the ground, which is a good situation. You're hunting pheasants.
Yeah.
But there's a breeze, and so as you walk around the circle, like the wind is, you're going to get the wind in every possible direction because you're walking around a circle.
Yeah.
So you can't just keep the wind in front of you the whole time. We're walking now. The wind is at our backs, blowing from our backs, right? And so less than ideal. And Bridget's out in front of me, and there's just a little bit of cover around the corn, and I've had luck in that in the past. So I'm like, all right, this could be good. And all of a sudden, she's working, and all of a sudden, I see it. Same thing, that like turn around, snap back, and I look where she's looking, and it's down by my feet. And I look down in the cover, which is not much, and there's a hen pheasant in there, and I can see it just like holding tight, right? And I'm like, it gets next to my foot. And I freeze. I'm gonna watch her do it, and she ran in and flushed it up like right there, like close and personal. It was really, really cool to see. Obviously couldn't, she was a hen, but God, that was cool. I forgot about that. He brought up the quick snap around there.
Yeah it's I mean it's fun kind of watching him work and stuff like that, and he seems like he's starting to, like I said, he's not, there's no light bulb moments right now, but it's fun at least watching the flickers happen, it's so yeah, it's even when you don't get birds and stuff like that, it's fun. Just I used to kind of, before I had a dog, you'd have like these cliches that somebody would say to be like, I'd leave the shotgun at home and just watch the dogs work. I do it for the dogs, and like I always thought that was kind of dumb, honestly, because I was like, I didn't understand. I was like, that's kind of dumb, and then I'm getting it. I'm starting to figure it out. It's like it's fun just watching them just run and just like, you know, you can tell he's just having, it's fun watching something do what it's meant to do, you know?
It really is. And it's cool seeing like the domesticated dog, right?
Yeah.
Like hundreds of years of breeding and hundreds of years, if not more, of training philosophies evolving over that time in our culture. And then you're going to take that, like we took the wolf away from the wild a long time ago, a long time ago, and now we bring it back and we plop it in for the specialty we've built it as a species, and then you see it do it. It's just like how it's so cool. Yeah. No, I get it. And there's some days where I'm like, I just want to get a bird today. You know? Those are few and far between for me the older I get.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, it was a lot more. And that's how my nephew was around. He's like, I think he's 13. Yeah. And he was like, as we kept saying, I just want to get a bird. I'm like, yep, I remember those days.
Yeah.
I guess like he's wanted to. He's done. He was kind of bummed. I think he didn't get one, but he had a good time. But you know, kind of like he had an expectation that he could get one.
Yeah,
which is good because now he's wanting to go out again. But
the desire's there. That's the good part.
Yeah. You know, it was interesting too. Like I'm gonna keep going back to this because I just had lots of interesting conversations. Like my brother-in-law, he's a little bit older than me, a couple years older than me. Fished his whole life, been in the outdoors a lot, and has never really hunted. And his dad, my father-in-law, will go pheasant hunt with me like once a year. And when he's from Georgia, and I think him or at least his dad, so my grandfather-in-law, my wife's grandpa, would go quail hunting down in Georgia back in the day. Right, and had dogs and stuff. And anyhow, that didn't get down to my brother-in-law. He never went. I guess we were talking about this a little bit, and he's like, you know, it's really intimidating. And I'm like, oh, like explain that. He was like, well, and this is someone who fishes and is in the outdoors, and you know, it's not like a brand new thing to him, like regulations. But he's like, knowing where to go, knowing if where I'm going is legal, knowing all of the rules and laws. I want to follow the rules and laws, and he's like, but I don't want to like get caught doing something wrong that I didn't know about because there's so many things. I'm like, God, yeah. And he's like, you know, there's common sense that you have as someone who's hunted your whole life and it got passed on to you by your dad. He kept saying common sense. He's like that. Not everyone else has. Like you have to learn that kind of common hunting sense. Yeah. He's like, and he's like, I was we were walking and I picked up a shell. I forgot how it happened, but I picked up an empty shell on the ground that someone else had left. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, people shouldn't, but sometimes they, you know, eject their shells. Sometimes people forget, and sometimes people don't care, whatever. But if I see him, I try to pick him up. Yeah. Because I don't like those being out here. Like he's like, yeah, of course. He's like, I didn't because I didn't even think of that, but of course. Why would we want the plastic? You know, like that's litter. Why would we want that out here in public land? Yeah. As a fisherman, he gets that because he's a similar mindset when he's fishing, you know. But like, he's like, that makes total sense. But I never would have thought of it. I just would have walked right over it. He's like, that's that common sense thing that he goes, that you have because you've been hunting your whole life. I'm like, yeah, I've known that I was lucky as a kid to have a dad that taught me that stuff and took me out and didn't let me do those things, you know, like kind of maybe they're not illegal, but they're frowned upon things in the hunting world. That you kind of learn that stuff. But yeah, the whole time. So that from that point as we're walking, I was just trying to like, as situations came up, trying to explain to him, well, here's why I'm doing this. And here's what I'm thinking when I'm looking at that. So he could start getting it.
Yeah. No, that's good.
It's just interesting from that perspective.
Right.
You know, like it's not, to me, it really does seem innate. And there's a lot of things that all of us have in our lives that we're so used to because we've been doing it for a long time. That seems innate and normal to us, but is like exotic and not strange, but like, people can't even imagine like how to even start doing that thing.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So that was an interesting perspective. Like, I guess I knew it because it's like it's kind of obvious,
right?
As much as he didn't realize oh, we shouldn't leave shells in the ground. Not that he would leave shells in the ground, but like that wasn't like obvious to him right away. It wasn't obvious to me that wouldn't it be obvious to him, or that like that perspective existed. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna go hunting, and there's all these things I don't have to actively think about, and probably a lot of our listeners might be the same way if they've hunted their whole lives.
Right.
That a new hunter, if they come into it as an adult, or maybe without that mentorship as a kid when they're younger, a teenager, or whatever, like they have to really think about it. I guess it's like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like if you're a really good writer and you've been writing your whole life, and maybe you do it as your job, like you don't think about the mechanics of writing or how to write something well. But if someone came up to you and wanted to learn how to do that, you would have a hard time. Like you have to really think about, well, what do I do?
Yeah. It's like explaining like the nuances and stuff like that. Like you can do big picture stuff that's pretty easy, but like the nuances of why you do the things you do, or like, for instance, like I know, like, we've both done it where like we've hunted together enough that like, if I know you're going left, I'm going to go right. If we'll cover and I'm like, and we kind of have this, not quite, I mean, it's pretty kind of unspoken. It's like, all right, Matt's going that way, I'm going to go the other way. And then we're going to follow, we're going to work this edge together, but on both sides or whatever the stuff. It's the nuances of everything that you don't know because you haven't done it,
Oh, that's really true. And I realized I learned that this season as well, because I've hunted with you for 15 years. We've hunted together, and like you, and like for me, at least for you, like you, my brother, and my dad are the people that I can go hunting with, and we don't have to talk that much if we don't want to. Like we kind of know how we both hunt, where we're going, what's going on. I went out with some other people this year that I haven't hunted with before, which I haven't done a lot in the past. But being at Pheasants Forever and the podcast, kind of introduced me to some new people, and I'm like, this is awesome, let's go check it out. But we didn't know each other that well in the hunting world, so there's a lot more talking, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go do that, what do you think about going here and this, and a conversation that happened in the field whether we liked it or not, because we really didn't know each other well enough in the field to do that. It's really interesting, things you don't think about until you're forced to think about them.
It's kind of interesting, especially like, like you said, you're kind of with some, like I hunt with probably less people than you do. I hunt with my dad and my son, and you, and that's about it. It's when I was in Arizona, I hunted with other people, obviously, but they're not in Arizona anymore. But yeah, like we hunted with like Sterling this year, ran into that guy. Just hunting with him and stuff like that, and like you just doing the conversations and stuff like that was, hey, we're gonna go over here, we can try to attack it this kind of way and stuff like that, it's kind of nice, because then it's just like you're verbalizing what you're thinking anyways, which is kind of nice that we're kind of, me and you seem to be kind of and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's kind of interesting hunting with new people, but it's also it's fun though.
It's mundane isn't the right word for when you're not doing it. But it becomes really normalized, right? And if you and I hunt together all season, like it's very normalized, and it doesn't become mundane, but it's that same kind of feeling of like you don't have to think a lot about it, right? It's just kind of automatic, which definitely is nice. But yeah, it's been nice to hunt with some new folks and kind of see what they're all about and kind of how they do things, or if they're new, kind of helping them and forcing ourselves to really think about how we do what we do. And I want to also give a shout to Sterling. I know you texted me this, Sterling, if you're listening. He went out and got himself an over-under 20 gauge. I forgot what brand it was, but and hit the pheasants a little harder. And he sent me a picture with his first pheasant with that gun. No dog, picked up a rooster. So Sterling, good job on that. That's awesome. I think maybe, I know you got a little baby at home, but maybe a dog's in your future too. Maybe I don't think you were that much of an upland hunter when we met you, but maybe you're becoming one now. Maybe you need a good flushing dog here soon.
And honestly, I think we kind of honestly did a little bit of a disservice to Sterling when we talked about him that first day. I don't think we actually explained like just how epic Sterling's mustache is.
Oh, dude, sweet. I'm pretty jealous.
Yeah, like I rock a beard. I know you do too, but that mustache was just like I'm talking like almost like Tom Selleck-ish. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty epic, and I feel like we did a disservice to Sterling for that, not explaining just how awesome his mustache is.
Yep.
So Sterling, I apologize. We should have said that in the beginning.
Should have been up front. Yeah.
It really should have been. It really should have been. But
we're gonna have to get back out with Sterling here at some point this
we-
season. I know he's a little further away from us, but we'll have to get back out.
there's some good halfway points.
Oh, there's a lot of good halfway points. Well,
Yeah.
we'll have to get into that. We'll talk to Sterling and see how it's kicking. We still have a couple more months of the season.
That's true. So
Or month and a half. Oh my gosh, the season's flying by.
it really is.
Always.
Yeah. So speaking, I guess you got a month and a half. What's and your shotgun's out of commission for a little bit. Like, are we thinking? I mean, logistically speaking, it only makes sense for you to buy a new gun.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that. I mean, just logistics alone, that only makes sense. So like, obviously you have a CZ. You should probably go something else. Like, you're going like. You're going to go Franke. You're going to go Beretta, Silver Pigeon, Browning, Satori. Like, what do we... Roseni, P110?
I will say, I think I might be without the 20 gauge this weekend, but I think I'll have it back next weekend.
Oh, that fast, huh?
That's what I'm reading. People's experience has been very fast.
Well, that's good. I mean, you can't...
So, let's pretend.
Yeah.
Let's pretend it's not. And I could be wrong. It could be I'm out until next season.
Yeah.
I won't be buying a new gun. But in the spirit of what you're saying, I think if I got another one right now, I would want a 20 gauge.
Sure.
The 28 gauge is kind of toying in my head. It's like a lot of people singing its graces. We've talked about that in the past, but I'm not quite there yet.
Sure.
And 28 gauge shells are
expensive,
not easy to find. I mean, you can do it because you can order them online and whatever, but it's nice to be able to go to the store and grab a box if you need one.
True.
Anyhow, so I think I'd go 20 gauge. I definitely like the lighter gun. If I bought one tomorrow and I had like $2,500, which can get you, a nice wide assortment of shotguns, definitely an over-under.
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably be the Silver Pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like its slim profile. I was looking at a Browning for a while, Satori. But I think I've learned that I really like the smaller, like shorter, meaning like shorter comb gun, like more like an Italian. Which the CZs, yeah, they're Turkish, but like the shape of them is an Italian looking shot. It looks like, you know what I mean? Like they're definitely modeled after those Italian guns. But I think I would go that with a runner up would be the Rosini BR 110. And the only even though that's probably $400 or $500 cheaper to go with the Rosini, that might be a factor if I was actually looking right now. But you can't go wrong with the Beretta.
True.
And I think just the standard Silver Pigeon 1, I just like the way it looks. It's got the coin receiver. It's lightly engraved, just decorative. If you look at the Rosini, you either got to go like black receiver. It says Rosini, which I'm not against. I like simplicity. But it's not, when I see a picture of it, and I've only held one, I think. I'm like, yeah, it's doesn't really jump out at me. Then there's the Cabela's has a special one that has like a laser engraved game scene, which I'm just not super fond of. Like, I'm not against game scenes if they're tastefully done. This one is not bad. It seems a little rough.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Fair enough.
So I think if we're down just to looks, if I'm down to those two and I'm happy with the form and function, we're down to looks, and I'm not worried about the extra $400 or $500 for the Beretta. I think I'd go Beretta.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never know. Maybe I'll find a spare $2,500 and it'll happen. And then my CZ, once it's fixed, can back it up. I did read though, people are saying there's a lot of people with experience with the problem I just had with my CZ, and I kind of knew about it going in, but I just crossed my fingers and knew I had a warranty.
Right.
But people have said like once it was fixed, they have not had a problem.
Well, that's good to hear at least.
So it sounds like they put some more robust parts in, almost like they're kind of like, I have a bit of a manufacturing background, and it's like they're almost skipping the quality assurance step or parts of it, and just know that some are going to come back and they're going to eat some money on that.
Sure. Instead of just doing it the right way the first time.
Yeah, I kind of want. I mean, this is just me out here wondering.
Sure.
And I get it. That's a thing. It might just be bad luck. It might have been a bad batch of hammers or whatever I don't know guns well enough. I know it's probably not the hammer. Whatever the mechanism is in there that causes that problem. I can't think of the name. I was reading about it, but anyhow, I don't know. But either way, I've heard people said that so far. Nothing but good experience with CZ on the warranty process. Quick so far. I mean, I'll report back. Let everyone knows how it goes. But
yeah,
if that is the case, like, and you don't have the budget for the $2,000 plus over under, and you want to be in the over under world, like, I really like the way this gun feels.
Yeah.
I got it $100 off. Like, it was $550.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at it that way, and I have to lose it for a couple weeks, hopefully one time, knock on wood. If that really is the case, then that's not a bad deal. And I shoot it really well.
True.
Like,
and you probably, I'm trying to think.
The quail I hit, like, I'm not sure how I hit it.
Right.
It was like, I think I was talking so much with my brother-in-law and my nephew, like, and trying to explain things to them, that when the quail got up, it was just like flow state. Like, that's how it felt. Like, it was just like on it. I shot it like, it flew over my head, and I was aiming up at it, like vertical, and I just kind of followed it around and shot it like at the gun at 45 degrees.
Right.
I'm like, and my brother-in-law was like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, I think to myself, I don't really know, but I'm gonna act like I've done this a million times.
Sure. It's like easy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just experience.
Yeah.
But I like that gun a lot. So hopefully I can get it back and it works well, and that's all good. But we will see.
Yeah, it's that's the nice part about having spares. It's makes it a little easier when stuff does go wrong.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I had a gun, my 12 gauge Maroki over under I've had that my dad gave me when I was just starting to hunt with the shotgun.
Right.
Number one dove season, I had it in its soft case, like its sleeve, carrying it to the truck, literally putting it in the truck to go dove hunting. And the bottom end of it wasn't zipped all the way, and it fell out, and the muzzle hit the concrete and dented it with the chokes in.
Nice.
And I was like, I can't shoot this. It was dented enough where I'm like, I can't shoot this today. Right. And I went to my wife, and this is dove season, right? This is September 1. This is like, I've been waiting all season to go out and go hunting, and I've probably been driving my family nuts just talking about it. And I go inside, and I'm like, well, I didn't have a spare. I'm like, well, I can't go hunting. I don't have a shotgun. This just happened. And my wife's like, she sent me to the store, and I went down to Sportsman's, and that's when I bought my Stoeger M3000. She's like, you have this much money, go, like, take as much money as your budget and go get a new gun. And I'm like, okay.
Right, not the worst.
And luckily that was before our state had its laws where you have like a 2-week waiting period for all guns.
Yeah. And
I was able to go buy it, walk out that day, and get out in the field and hunt. But yeah, that's not fun having to go. I mean, it's fun buying a gun, but that's a day for a dove opener.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun buying a gun when you want to buy a gun, not when you have to buy a gun.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
that's like stressful. I'm like, how long does this background check take? He's like, we're working on it. I'm like, we're waiting on it. Like, oh my God, I'm trying to get out in the field.
Yeah. It's a good time though.
Yep. So, so you haven't seen Bones, anything like really click yet, but you've seen some flickering. And like for Bridge, and I don't think I've seen a puppy in its first season, like all of a sudden just be some rock star. So Bridge, I know it was just beginning of her second season. I started to be like, whoa, you're figuring this out.
Yeah.
And now we're in she had a puppy season. I'll say that was a season 0, and then first season, and now she's in her second season at 2.5 years old. And dude,
Yeah.
it's like every time I take her out, it's like she takes it to a new level of impressing me on things. So I just know you're in for a treat when Bones gets, next year and the year after. Dude, it's crazy watching her work. And like, I see it, but when other people see it too, when I'm out and they're like, wow, all right, she's doing something right. It's really cool. Can't thank Josh, from a few episodes ago enough for Bridge. I know Bones will be in that same boat soon. So it's cool. It's like you said, hey, I can watch her work and have a good time, and puts a smile on my face, and I had a good day.
Yeah.
Even if there's a bird in the bag.
Very true.
Well, your vehicle woes. I know you guys are coming for a new one. Is that going to change up your hunting rig from a Subaru to something else potentially? Or I know you still have the Forester, but what's the situation if you can share anything?
Well, it kind of depends. Like it's we're kind of looking for something like for my kid right now. Looked at a couple things, and I don't know if you ever had to deal with Facebook Marketplace, because we got the insurance money for the car. So trying to keep it around that the price we got for the car, which is a pretty decent amount, but still, it's not brand new car prices, and it's for a kid. So I'm not buying brand new car for my kid. So it's right now it's frustrating. Trying to deal with people on Facebook Marketplace, just not showing up, and but it kind of depends. We've looked at a couple different things. We're kind of depends if it's something that he really doesn't want, or we looked at a couple seen some pilots, some Honda pilots. I do have a couple kids, so I mean, a bigger vehicle is not the worst thing. So if that's the case, I'll probably end up with the bigger vehicle. And then he can have the Forester, but I kind of dig the Forester. So it's we're just trying to get through it right now, and then of course that happened during hunting season, where it makes everything harder. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, if any of my listeners have a line on the go ahead and let us know. I got cash.
Hey.
So, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. It kind of depends on, on what's available and all that stuff. But either way, I'll take it hunting. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're just dealing with down guns, down cars.
Yeah,
man. Please stay.
All kinds of,
right in the thick of bird season. But that's the way it goes.
It's true, but you just gotta keep going.
Yep. No, it's been a good season so far. If it ended today, I'd be very happy with the season so far. I got some meat in the freezer, and looking forward to smoking that. I usually smoke that up. Maybe next episode or one of these episodes, we'll talk about what we do with our birds, what we do with the meat. I got kind of my preferences, and it's not that exciting, but I like it, and the people who eat it like it, so I can't complain. But maybe we'll have to talk about that.
Good idea.
Maybe we'll have to get John Neuenbeck on here. He seems to have some ideas. He's doing the catch and cooks and stuff on YouTube, and we can talk about the end of season. Maybe we'll talk to John, see if he can get on and talk about that too.
Yeah, let's get some Hank Shaw maybe.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, there's a couple guys. There's a couple good, really good cooks on there. Do a lot of wild game stuff, so I like a lot of their stuff. Oh that's a good idea.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, with that, Jared, anything else for the episode 20?
No, I think we're good. We're just midway through the season. Let's just keep on keeping on, I guess.
Yep. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for listening to another episode of the Go Flush Yourself podcast. We'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Go Flush Yourself podcast. Check us out on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and X. We also have a Patreon, where for a $2 a month subscription, you can help keep our podcast on the air. We also have merchandise available. Please check out the podcast description or the Patreon page for links to merchandise.